Hi, y'all. I'm Michaela.
I'm Julie,
Welcome to our podcast.
and let's talk about it.
Let's do it. Sounds good. So, just to get to know us a little bit, Julie, what are people's perception of you versus your perception of yourself?
Honestly, I feel like that's a good question. We talked about this last night, actually. I think a lot of people have like completely different perceptions of like who I am and all that stuff. I think a lot of people think that they know who I am, but they don't actually know who I am. I think for like social media aspects, I think like I show that like I'm very like serious, not like a very like goofy, very fun person. Like quite the opposite. I feel like I show on social media. And like unless you actually know me and like spend like a lots of time with me, I feel like you won't actually like get to see that version of me. Like if I'm not 100% like comfortable with you and everything like that, like you just probably won't see that version. And I feel like a lot of the times like I like people get to see different versions of me, but I think
Mm.
that like unless I'm like you are like somebody that I think that's like very close, like I'm like you're very close to me and all that stuff, and like I'm very comfortable with you. Like you won't actually like get to see like the real me, if that makes any
Mm.
sense. I'm like stumbling on words, but yeah. Um, what's some of the perceptions of you? Like, what do people think of you like when they first meet you?
I would say that they think I'm shy, which is true to a fact, to a point. But like once you get to know me, like you said, it's a whole different, whole different side. Like I'm very outgoing. Like if someone says, "Oh, Michaela, go up to that person and ask them," I'll do it. I don't have a problem with doing it. But yeah, people's perception is like I'm shy because I'm very like quiet and I observe. I get that from my mom. She likes to observe. She likes to people watch. I do too. But like once you get to know me, um, I'm it's like I'm a different person. I'm more
Mm-hmm.
outgoing, a little mischievous, I would
Yeah.
say. But yeah, that's pretty much my perception of myself.
So wait,
Um,
what was your perception of me when you first met me?
when I first met you, um, I thought you were very like quiet, and you held yourself very like not I'm trying to think of the right words. I don't know, like you were just there, but like once you start to get to know you, you're like a fun time.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, so so yeah, um, yeah, that's very much what I thought. You like, oh, she's very quiet. Like I thought like it was gonna be very hard to get to know you. Like your guard was up because and everything, but like you're actually a very nice, kind, and outgoing person, and you speak your mind, which I love. But like you said, you just have to get to know you, and it's a blast.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. I think I don't know if I would say like I have my guard up more so, but it's like I'm very selective as to like who I'm like really like who I consider like my friend, like who I get to,
Mm,
like close to. Um, so I'm not gonna get close to every single person that I meet. Like
mm,
I'm the type of person where I'm not gonna be in your face, um, and smiling and kikiing with you if I
mm-hmm.
don't like you. Like that's just not me. I don't have that energy. Like I don't care to do that. No,
Yes.
that's just not me. So like yeah, I don't know. I think that I don't know. Like I feel like I'm just I don't know if there's like a I feel like the right word to describe me is like very random. Truthfully,
Mm.
like I'm just like all over the place, but like not at the same time. Like
Mm.
but yeah,
Well,
I just wanted to ask.
what was your first like perception of me when you first
To be
met me?
honest, I just felt like you were just like very quiet. Like
Mm.
you were just very to yourself. Like you were chill, like to hang out with and everything like that. But like you were just very quiet to yourself. Like you were very like laid back. Um, and yeah, like that's like I feel like when we first met, that's like honestly like I don't even know how we even became like close because like truthfully, when we first met, we did not speak like that.
Mm.
Like we
Mm-hmm.
you spoke to like our other roommates, I think, more than like I spoke to you. Like it was more
Mm-hmm.
so like a hey, like what's up type of thing, but like it wasn't like, oh, like let's go get food and like X, Y, and Z. Like it wasn't like that.
Yeah. It's kind of like a happy accident. Like we met. I was thankful for meeting you through a mutual friend, and then it just exploded after that.
Yeah. Like do you remember like the day that we met?
I remember it was at a basketball game.
Girl, it was not at a basketball game.
Yeah,
When me and you first met,
was it at a basketball game or was it when we went to your room or your dorm room?
no. It was when, okay, we met. I swear this is the first time we met. Um this is, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the first time that we met. Um Side note, I have really good memory, so I'm like banking. Like I'm not 99% sure that this is like the first time we met. So we met through a mutual friend, and I went to that mutual friend's room, and um and then I think they were like moving out or something like that, or like I don't even know, but I know that their mom was there, and um they were like, oh, like this is Michaela and stuff like that, like all that stuff, because like they would talk about you a lot, and like you guys would
Mm-hmm.
hang out and stuff, and like that's when we were starting to kind of like become like cool and like I guess kind of getting closer. And then I remember like you asked, like you were like, oh, I think I don't know if I asked for your number or like you asked for like my number, and then you put your phone number, like your phone number in my phone, and then you put like emojis next to like your phone, like your
Yes.
name.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. I
And then that's
remember.
when like I was like, oh, I think I told my roommates, I was like, oh, like I met like Michaela and stuff like that. She's mad cool. Like, and then that's when we started plotting to like for you to become our roommate,
Yes.
essentially.
Yes. Okay. That I think it's because we went to basketball games more after that is why I thought was the first time we met, but now it's very much clicking.
Yeah, that's I think that's the like first time I met you, because I was just like I honestly was just kind of like I don't really know what's going on, and then yeah, I don't even know. That's kind of strange because I feel like I wouldn't have been never have asked somebody for their phone number for the first time
Mm,
I met them, but like I think that we were like I guess got along right from the
yeah.
jump. So it's just like why not? But yeah.
Something was in the air. We knew.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy how much 3 years after that, changes.
Yo, there is something in my eye. I'm so sorry. I feel like you're watching
Okay.
this and you're like,
It's okay.
what's going on? I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I think the 3 years kind of like flew by fast. Like, I don't know, it's still weird to me like how we became like close friends, but
Hmm.
yeah. Um, do we want to get into the topic?
Yes, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So tell me, how was college? We're just gonna talk about college. We're newly graduated young women trying to thrive in this world, but we're just gonna reflect on, the college experience.
It's been 6 months since we graduated, right? Like about 6 months. We graduated in
Mhm.
May, so it's
Mhm.
like about 6 months. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, I don't know. I think more so like I think I could rate my college experience than like say like how it actually was. And I think I could rate it based on like each year. Like
Mhm.
example, like I think my freshman year I would rate it a solid 6.5 out of 10, maybe 7. It like I
Mhm.
think freshman year is like the type of um it's like okay, I can describe it this way. It's like a movie that you watch and it was like it's an okay movie, but you don't know
Mhm.
if you would ever watch it again.
How many
That's
tomatoes?
how I
Like
would that's how I
exactly.
would describe my freshman year, truthfully. Like it was legitimately a movie, but I don't know if I would ever do that again because of how emotionally draining it was for me, like
Mm-hmm.
now that I reflect back on it, like there was a lot of highs, but when there were lows, like they were literally horrible. And
Mm-hmm.
like that I would go, like even my senior year I would go home like a lot and stuff like that because it was just like too much for me. I think that honestly, I think I went home more senior year than I did freshman year, but regardless, I was still going home because I just
Mm-hmm.
could not. Like, it was just so draining for me, and I was just so over it. But then sophomore year, if COVID didn't happen, I think sophomore year would have been my like redemption year. Like, to be honest, like I rate that like a solid like 9 out of 10. Like, I was thriving. Like, I was just so happy. Like, it was just good vibes overall. And then junior year, that was like absolutely 0 out of 10. Like I literally took 6 classes one semester. Like there was just so much going on. Like COVID hit. I wasn't around my friends. Like I like like being apart from like certain people from school. I think that like I was getting closer to some people sophomore year,
Mm-hmm.
and then like COVID hit. Like and like that kind of like messed things up. And then senior year, it just didn't give what it was supposed to give. Like I would say like maybe like I would give it like maybe like a 7.5, 8 out of 10. I think that I had a lot of high hopes for senior year and it just didn't meet my expectations at all.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. And like I was just there was a lot going on academically and just like extracurricular like stuff that was just going on that I was involved in, and I just was constantly on the go, so I don't think that
Mm-hmm.
I ever had like a time where I was just chilling and just like yeah, it just wasn't no. So that was me. That's my experience for me. So how was yours?
For me, if we're talking ranking, uh, throughout like years, so freshman year, I would give it, um, I would give it a solid 5. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. I feel like I was just coasting. Like it was very much a routine. Get up every day. I didn't really go out as much. I was very much isolating myself. Same people I would see. Um, so there was that, and then sophomore year, it was pretty good. I would give it a 7, and then COVID hit, and that turned into a 1 minus, not even 1, -10. because we because we were
No, my
home.
fault.
Because I had high hopes sophomore year. It was like, oh, like a new year, new me is gonna be different. I'm gonna meet more people, especially more people who looked like me and everything. I met, you guys, um, and everything. And junior year again, home. Senior year, it was pretty good. I would give it a solid 8. You know, it was just hard like coming back from COVID because it did affect. I would say it affected a lot of people differently. And there was a lot of responsibilities on top of dealing with like coming back and COVID testing, and um, it was just a lot. But overall, academically, the school we went to wasn't giving what it was supposed to give for me. If I had to pick a different school, I would have gone to a different school academically wise. But in terms of like meeting people, I'm glad I went because I met some really cool, amazing people, including you. And I don't regret, meeting everyone that I've met. I've learned a lot, seen a lot, thought a lot.
Do
So,
you think that like where you lived like freshman year like affected like your experience, because like we had completely different
mm,
college experiences. Like I think that a lot of the people that I like me and my friends knew like before like you became a part of the friend group, like
mm,
like you just did not know them. Like, and I think a
yeah.
big part of like who we knew is because of where we lived our freshman year. And like that was
Mm,
like I guess like the sports hall and everything like that. And like we just ended up knowing a bunch of people by default. But do you think
mm.
that like had like a big impact on like your college experience and like meeting other black people?
I think it very much did. It played like a a pretty good part of like not meeting a lot of people freshman year, I would say, and building that bond um, with a lot of people like up into the later years, like getting to know everyone. So I think that also played a big role. It was also to me just like um, transitioning from like high school to college and having to like isolate myself, just trying to get by and like do well academically and not fall off. Um, I was so focused on doing well in school that I kind of lost track of that whole, oh, meeting people, meeting new friends, um, and meeting the right people, I would say, too. Um, and not, I guess, not getting distracted. I kind of overthought it a little bit, and that pretty much affected um, me meeting people. But I was determined to like change that the next few years. And I would say I did a pretty good job. Like I met some people like you, and your friends and things like that. Um, but it could have gone very differently if I had to like go back and do it again.
So like, how was your high school experience like in transitioning to college, like for you, like because you said that like you were like more focused on like academics and everything like that. Like, was your
Mm.
social like life not like a big thing that you were like thinking of like as like we moved in and everything like that, or it's like you were just so focused on like academics that like that kind of like went over your head?
I think it kind of went over my head because um, I'm dyslexic, proud dyslexic student over here or woman over here. Um, so I wanted to make sure that I wouldn't fall off and like my grades to slip because in high school I worked very hard. Not even in high school, like since since I learned I was dyslexic, I worked really hard not to like do my best to make sure that I got, a good enough grades so that I could achieve and, get into the right schools that I wanted to. Um so when I got to college, I really wanted to make sure I could like get good grades. That I kind of lost sidetracked of my priorities a little bit and kind of put one higher above the others, and it did affect like the other aspects about a college experience, um or like for me.
See, like
So yeah.
that's like so interesting because like I feel like I had the opposite experience. Like
Mm.
I don't have dyslexia, but like I think that like all throughout like I mean high school and like middle school, I was so focused on my academics that like honestly I didn't like anybody at my school. To be honest, I could say that with my chest. I said that to everybody. I did not like it. I just went there for the academics and I was out. Like I did not care. But I think that um like college I was definitely like looking for like to like the social aspect, and like not
Mm.
that I didn't care about my academics, but like I think that like at least for freshman year, at least for first semester,
Mm.
especially like I prioritized a little bit more like my social life than I did my academic life, and that is probably
Mm-hmm.
why I was not a bio major anymore. But like I hated bio anyway, so it didn't even matter. But like yeah, I don't know. I think that like for me, like I think that my college experience, I knew that I was gonna learn more about myself, especially like going away, and not
Mm.
being like at home and everything like that. Like it was more of like who is Julie and like
Mm.
what does she believe in, like who like what like makes Julie Julie, and like
Mm-hmm.
um just like learning more about myself. Um so yeah, I think that like I really prioritize just like going out, like trying new things. Not that I was like going crazy or anything like that, but
Mm-hmm.
I definitely wanted to like meet new people, and yeah.
Seeing as we went to a PWI, how was that, you know, experience for you?
Um, I mean, yeah, I didn't have too much of a struggle there, just because my school, like I said, for high school was a PWI, and like even though it was definitely like a more diverse PWI, it was still like strange for me, like
Mm.
coming from a like a middle school where literally pretty much the entire classroom like was black, like, you know, like, or
Mhm.
someone of color. um
Mhm.
so yeah, I think that my like high school definitely set me up for, like, I guess, being uncomfortable and preparing for those uncomfortable moments in the classroom. It wasn't too bad. I can honestly say that. I think I just because I got comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Mm.
So
Mm.
how was your experience?
It wasn't anything new. Uh, I went to PWI since elementary school. Now that I look back at it, um, well, PWI private schools. I went to private schools probably all my academic life. So there wasn't anything new. Um,
Okay.
uh, uh, you just you get used to it. Like it becomes numb. Like up until like high school, when I started looking around, I was like, oh, I can count the amount of black people on my hand. And I started to like feel uneasy about it, waking up and like, oh, how come the teachers don't look like me? They really don't understand. Like when I say certain things and they look at me kind of confused, it's like that's just, you know, what my lifestyle is like at home. And code switching is very real.
No, I code switch like crazy. It's I don't even realize it though. Like it's like just like, but I think I get it from my mom because she code
Mm,
switches like nothing. There's so like
mm-hmm,
over like when I was a child, like I thought that was normal, but like
mm-hmm.
obviously it is not.
No.
But yeah.
Yeah, code switching is very real because I would act differently at home or with my friends at home than at school or even at my job because it's a very suburban area. I have to like, because I don't want to, unfortunately, it's bad to draw attention or be different or be yourself, which is so problematic in itself. But I just got numb to just going to PWIs. It wasn't anything new. Um, I could write a book about going to PWIs and the experience of it. Is again, it's taught me a lot, and it really made me want to embrace who I am as a black woman. Because as much as we code switch, I'm gonna stay black and die black. It's not gonna change how they view of me. Um, so yeah, it was just it wasn't anything new.
Please ignore me. I actually have a question though.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever felt like you said that you went to pretty much a PWI all your life? Have you ever
Mm-hmm.
felt that like you essentially were too white for the black people? And I mean, am I saying this right? Um, too white for the
Like a Oreo, too like that. I think
too
you're saying it right. Too white for the
too
black
white for the
people.
black people and too black for the white people. I believe I'm saying this right.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever felt that way?
Uh, not until I was called out for it. Like, oh, why are you acting? Why are you acting white? Why are you talking white? Um, but again, it's essentially it wasn't my fault. It's just how like who I was surrounded with kind of affects how you go about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, essentially, I feel like I'm still trying to figure out how to play the game because of what I did and who I saw and like what people have told me. I can. It's kind of like you have a playbook. You know how to deal with certain things in the world and how to deal with people, um, and everything like your Karens, your Kens, and stuff like that. And even like how to get a good job and stuff. Because it amazes me like certain companies will turn you down just based on your name. Like they don't even have to look at your resume. Like if they see your name and it sounds too black, then they're like, oh, never mind. Or they can't pronounce it. They'll be like, oh, forget it. But to go back to your question, I never felt like I was too white for the black people unless someone called it out, and I would just ignore them because it's not like I could help it. It's just, you know, not how I was raised, but just I um how I did things, you know. And it's sad to say I would code switch for white people and code switch for black people. It's kind of hard to understand like who I am as an individual by myself, if that makes sense.
No, I get that. I think I definitely get what you're saying. I think for me, I guess I had a similar experience. I think
Mm-hmm.
I've always been told I'm too like I'm basically an Oreo.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've had this conversation before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know, it definitely took a toll on me. I think growing up, now I don't really care because it's just plain on ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
Truthfully, um, yeah, I don't know. Like, just it definitely used to bother me. I think also too that probably has like plays a big role in this. Some of my closest best friends growing up were all white. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I definitely think that like that plays a role, and then I don't think that I had truthfully like I had close black friends, but like not until like maybe like later on, maybe like around like first grade or second grade or something like that. Um, so yeah. Um, but anyways, going back to college,
Mm-hmm.
the topic. Um, so if you could go back in time, would you like when we were back in high school? You know, looking at colleges, everybody's talking about like, are you going to college? Da da da. Like writing like your college essay, all that stuff. Would you go to the same school that we did?
No, I wouldn't. I say that with my chest. I would not. Um, I say no because um, what I want to do, the school I went to didn't give enough resources to get there. Um, I would say I met really great people in my department. What I graduated, my degree was graphic design, and I would just choose a more art based school. Um, so yeah, academically I wouldn't go to that school, but again, like socially, um, it was fine. Like it fit. It was small. It was close to home. Um, would I like to be away from home too? Yeah, that would have been nice. That would have been cool. Um,
Yeah, because you live like literally 10 minutes
I
away.
like yeah, yeah. It was very 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 close. Um, but yeah, would you attend the same school if you
Honestly,
had to
we
go
talked
back in
about
time?
this. I think we talked about this like twice. I honestly would say
Mm-hmm.
yes, to be honest, because at the time, like even though like okay, um, at the time I definitely was like super excited. I don't know why I was so excited about our school. Um, like it was my number one, but like I honestly couldn't tell you why it was really my number one. Like it was nice, like the program, like the some programs over there were like cool. Um, for some reason, technically, like in the back of my mind, Quinnipiac University. Obviously, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna like we don't live near Quinnipiac, but like that was my number one because that school's like literally beautiful. Like unfortunately they didn't give me any money. I
mm.
did get accepted, but they didn't give me any money. So I was just not going there. But yeah, I definitely would go back. To be honest, I just really like I really liked how small the school was. The programs were really good, and I'm in grad school now. So I definitely think that like I think in the moment I was kind of like the classes that I was taking, and I just didn't think that the school was like academically rigorous. But now I think now that I'm in grad school, I have a different perception on that because a lot of the things that I'm doing in grad school, I've already pretty much done either like my junior year or maybe like my sophomore year of
Mm.
college. and it's kind of like, and I'm kind of like, especially like I just finished my first semester of grad school, by the way. But
Congrats.
I was
Yay.
thanks. And I was kind of like, when we were going through the syllabus and all that stuff, I was kind of just like, why am I doing this again? I don't know. Like it
Mm.
kind of unmotivated me for a little bit in grad school, just because I was just like, I thought that grad school I was gonna learn a bunch of new stuff, all this stuff, like apply a bunch of new things, but like it's just a repeat of what I've already done and seen, which
Mm-hmm.
isn't a bad thing, but I feel like that just shows how good I guess like the helping profession field is. So like if you
Mm-hmm.
want to do like social work, psych, um, those programs at our school were pretty good. I can honestly say if I'm essentially doing the same thing over again in grad school, it has to account for something. Um, but as for like the social aspect, I think I met some I met some good people, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think definitely like I think freshman year I look back at it and I feel a type of way because I definitely had like a good friend group that
Mm-hmm.
is no longer a friend group. It's I'm literally only talking to like two of them now, two other people in the group, and we were like coming in as like a group of like what, six, I think, six, seven, including me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, so you can see how that went. But like, um, I definitely could say that I met a lot of good people, and I can honestly say that I can see like a lot of good like people going far in their lives. So I don't have regrets, to be honest, about like the people that I've met. I definitely think it could have been better. Um, I think academically was good, but I think I
Mm-hmm.
would go back. Um, I'm only saying that also too, just because compared to the other schools that I did apply to, I'm not sure if I would have loved it over there. Like some of
Mm-hmm.
them were just way too close to home. Like one of them is like 20 minutes away. Like that was like the one that's 20 minutes away is like high school 2.0. I was just not going there. Like
Ooh.
no. Um, and like one of the other schools, like that actually is in the same city of our school,
Mm-hmm.
like I went to visit and they were just giving me very like snobby vibes, and I was just like, I'm glad that you guys denied me. I got waitlisted and then denied, but I'm like, I don't even care because it was giving no.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's my experience. I like
Mm-hmm.
obviously like I feel like we just both had different experiences, so it's like nice to see like how like your college experience was, especially not even knowing who you were freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So, do you miss the dorm life? The in terms of independence versus having to share a room. Like you're independent, but you're still sharing a room with individual people. Do you miss it?
Honestly, yes, I miss living at school, to be honest.
Mm.
I've had this conversation with like my roommate and one of my roommates um quite often, honestly. And I definitely do miss being at school. Like I think I miss having the freedom of doing whatever I want and like not having to answer to anybody, and not that like I don't have like I can't do things while I'm at home and like back living at home with my parents and everything like that. But it's a different type of freedom living on your own.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I think that like we've had this conversation before,
Yeah.
where I'm like, I'm so sorry, like I'm like moving, like I just I can't sit still. But yeah, I think it's a different type of freedom, and I think it's like a more of like a learning lesson, and it just for your
Mm.
own self, and just like more become like just becoming in tune with yourself and like who you are yet again. Because and that's what I say like the college experience for me is, and that's why I was so excited about going to college, is because I was literally learning more about myself and what I can and
Mm.
can't do, and what I would want to do with all the freedom that I have. And so I do miss being at school. I think also another thing is like I miss like being able to like be essentially being out all day and then coming back to my room and then like I guess debriefing about like our
Mm.
days with like my friends. Like we would literally have like talks at night and stuff like that, like about like our days or whatever the case is, or just like literally like late night talks just to talk.
Mm.
And I miss those aspects, and I just miss being around like some of my closest friends. Like it just sucks now because like a lot of the people that I met like literally live so far away from me. Like you, even though we live in the
Mm.
same state, like you live literally an hour away. Like it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's just rough. And like I feel like living at school, like you what, it's like the furthest somebody's gonna like be away from you is like a 5 minute walk. Even though our school was like full of hills and nobody was trying to do that walk, but like still like that is so much better than being like an hour, 2 hours away from somebody. Like, you know,
Mm.
some people are 4 hours away. So, um, yeah, I definitely miss being at school, and I think it's also like good to. I think honestly, I think it's essential for everybody to, when they are, at least if you have the means to, be able to live on campus,
Mm-hmm.
because um it's something about not being, I guess, in the same space as people, like as like your parents or anything like that, or
Mm.
whoever you grew up with, because I think that those people definitely have a strong impact on like certain beliefs that you have or whatever the case
Mm-hmm.
is. And it's good to be away from those things, to figure out who you are and what you believe and like what makes you you. um
Yeah.
and I think that I literally encourage everybody to do that if you have the means to. Um, so yeah, I definitely would do that all over again. I think that the only difference is really just, I think this is for everybody and it's a general thing, just really knowing who you choose your roommates wisely, truthfully.
Very,
Um,
very much.
yeah.
Do a background
So
check if you can.
yeah.
If you can, do a background check.
So do you like?
Mm.
Did you like? Do you miss being in the dorms? Did you like it? How was your experience?
I do miss being in the dorms. I just miss the just the independence, like you were saying, and also it was nice to because you had your friends in your department like close to you. You have that connection, and you're bonding over the similar things because you're like in classes every day together to a certain point. And then you come back to the dorm and like everyone's in different, majors and everything, and you get to like debrief, and it was just fun. Like you guys are such a fun time. You made me laugh and everything. Um, and it's just meeting the different personalities and just laughing and bonding over different things. Not having so much arguments, but just like debating and really
Mm-hmm.
like speaking our truth and connecting almost um differently because you're in a vulnerable place, you're living together.
Let's talk about it.
You're you're like, I don't know what's a more vulnerable like state of mind when you have to like come back and literally let it all go. There was tears, there was laughing, there was screaming,
Dude, I literally say this
but
all the time. Like,
it was an experience that I wouldn't change, because I've again learned a lot, saw a lot, and I'm very happy um like rooming with you guys. Like you guys are just a fun time. But again, choose your roommates wisely.
no, I definitely agree with everything that you said. I think that like I think that's why another reason why like my freshman year wasn't the greatest for me, because it was just so tough for me, like mentally and emotionally, because you're literally around these people like 24, like 25/8, like you cannot escape these people. And especially like when, like, for me, like me and my friends, like we were like the trio, like everybody knew us because
Mm-hmm.
we were literally like we never went anywhere without each other, like it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
But um
People even knew
like,
you for your names. Like it da da
bro,
da. Where's da da?
no, literally homecoming when we went, like our RA, like my RA from freshman and sophomore year, he was like, "Oh, where's like my two other roommates?" And he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's because like you guys were always together. You guys like the trio." And I'm like, "Oh well, like you're not wrong though. Like
Yep.
everybody knew us because like we were like literally a pack." but um but like yeah, like you were saying, like I think that like it was definitely like tough. Like
Mm-hmm.
and I think that a lot of people who don't live on campus will never have like understand the, I guess, like the different experiences of someone who does live on campus and someone
Mm-hmm.
who like commutes, because when you commute, like, yeah, yes, you can say that college is hard and everything like that, but you will never understand the like mental the emotional and mental like impact that it has on you, just because you cannot escape these people. Like, unless you go home, you can't escape these people. Like, they're literally around you all the time. Unless you go to a big school or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
like, you're with like your friend group like all the time, and it's really just draining after like a while. And like, but those are the people that you're gonna get so close with them. Like, honestly, like I can honestly say that like the people that I've roomed with, the people that I've gone to like really like get to know, like those people are like literally my family, because y'all have saw me cry. Like, I don't even know if you were up, but like literally the first
I
weekend of
was
like
up.
senior
I was
year,
up.
I literally started crying. I literally anyway, there's a whole reason for that. Like, I wasn't crying for no reason, but like I'm like, especially for me, like it was hard for me because I'm not a vulnerable person.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I like one, if I let you see me cry, that's a big thing, because I don't do
Yeah.
that. Um, so like it's just like I'm now like opening up to you, and I feel very comfortable to do that with around you. Like I some of them I'm just like, I'm so sorry that you even saw me cry. Like, I'm very ashamed. Like, y'all did not have to see that, um, but like yeah, I just think that like it's just it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest. But like, I definitely wouldn't have changed my experience for the world. I think that it made me the person I am today. And I honestly think that like those people that have now become like family, and like those people have like that are like literally like some of the closest people to me, um yeah, like literally love and care for them, nothing but the best for them. It was a lot. Like, we have
Yeah.
been through a lot together, seen a lot together. Like, we may have not agreed on a lot of things, may have gotten like very irritated with each other
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But like the fact that we can go through all these things and just still be friends, I think that's like a big showing. And I think, yeah, like I was saying, like I don't think that a lot of like people who commute will ever understand this experience. And I've had people like literally ask me like, oh, I don't get why you're so close to like the people that you live with at school and stuff like that, like, or the friends that you've literally met like a couple years ago, when I've literally known you all my life. And it's like, you guys don't understand like
Yeah.
the difference. Like,
Mm.
it's just like I'm around these people, so like y'all are seeing me for who I am. Like, y'all are seeing me at my absolutely lowest moment,
Y'all know
and
my
y'all are
morning routine, when I get up, when I go to the bathroom, just
no, literally.
all of
and
it.
like and like y'all aren't judging me. Like, you guys accept me for
Mm-hmm.
me, and and I that obviously vice versa. And it's just like, I
Yeah.
will always be there for you. And like, I think that's like where like that connection like lies. And like, with someone who doesn't commute or whatever, like, or the people that you've known like even before, like obviously before going to college, and like maybe like 5+ years or whatever the case is, or people like you're best friends with, that won't understand like this like connection that you form with people at college. It's a different type of connection, because it's like, yeah, you guys are close and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, like, you guys essentially like part ways.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, like, you guys don't live with each other. I think unless you live with someone, you won't really get to know somebody unless you live with them,
You live with them. Yes.
bro. Like,
Very much. Very much so.
it's tough. I would not, like,
Mm.
I definitely think that like it's not for the weak. I'm gonna just say
Mm-hmm.
that it's not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I totally agree, cuz like I went to a boarding school for high school, and when it was time to when I decided to go to the college that we went to, I immediately knew, oh, I want to live in the dorms. I don't care if I'm 5 minutes, an hour. I don't care, because that experience somehow, it's just a stronger like connection. And I feel like you, not saying that commuters missed a lot, but they missed, oh, did you hear like what happened last night? And we're like, oh my gosh, what happened? Um, and like you're literally leaving the atmosphere every almost every day, and I knew I didn't want to miss that. I wanted to like be as close and connected as I could, so I knew immediately that I wanted to live in the dorms.
And I feel like also too, like a big part of your college experience is like making memories. I think like
Mm-hmm.
people try to say like, oh, like high school is like some of the best like years of your life. No,
Years
it's
of your
not.
life.
College is supposed to be like some of the best years of my life. Crazy. I didn't have like super crazy memories, but I definitely
Mm-hmm.
made memories with people that like I definitely like care about and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I just feel like people who commute just don't have that like same connection. And I feel like also too commuting, like it's harder for you to make friends. Like how are you
Mm-hmm.
making like friends with people like from like college? Because like after high school, like you definitely lose touch with those people. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
who are you like really connecting with, you know? Like I don't know. I feel like for me, especially during like the COVID, like like the
Oh yeah.
shutdown, and we were like at home and everything like that. That was like a biggest struggle for me because I was like, I'm not making like the friends that I like literally was making like my sophomore year. And I think low key like during COVID, I think I went into like low key a very I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that because I'm but like I think I went to like deep stage of like sadness. I honestly want to
Mm-hmm.
say, um, I lost hella weight. Um, like literally, I'm not even joking. I think it was like 17 pounds. Um, it was significant. Literally, I showed you like the
Yeah.
picture, right? Like of me like
Yes.
before COVID, and like I was very chubby. Like I'm gonna show the
Mm.
podcast because I feel like that's like
Because
a
I was literally
vital
like, what what happened?
bro. Like I did not. Hold on. Let's. I'm gonna just show the same picture I showed you. No judgment, people here. I was chubby.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
We all have those moments.
It's a safe, cozy space here.
Let me save this video actually, because actually, never mind. This is okay. Y'all see me now. Y'all see me now. Okay. This is me before COVID. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my
I
gosh. Y'all see me? Y'all see me? Okay, my hair was not the healthiest. I can honestly say that. But my face was just round.
know.
And but like I think that like during that time, like I think my weight definitely correlates with like my mental state, my
Mm-hmm.
happiness. And that shows like you like prior to COVID, I think that was like the beginning stages of COVID too, like so like
Mm-hmm.
right the initial shutdown. Like I was just super happy, all that stuff, and when COVID hit, I just lost just mad weight because I wasn't interacting with people. I think sophomore year was definitely like my social year where I was like meeting mad people and it was just like I don't know. I definitely wanted to like, get to know mad people. It was just very chatty, just like yeah. I wasn't like I'm not obnoxious or anything like that, but like definitely wanted to meet more people and all that stuff. And it
Mm-hmm.
just sucked when we just had that time cut in half because it's like I remember that the class of 2020, me and my friends had like some friends in that class, and it just sucked because we did not have that like moment where we could be like, bye, like we're gonna miss you
Yeah.
guys, like thank you guys for like all you guys have done. Like it was just like bye,
Yeah.
like we
Because you
went for a
can't chat
spring
in the
break and
Zoom.
then never again.
Yeah, because you can't chat in the Zoom like, oh, what you up to? Like, oh, where are we going after this?
Yeah,
Like, what?
and it's just different because it's like those people we didn't have like I didn't have like the relationship where we were texting all the time or whatever. It was more like, oh, like let's go hang out, like pull
Mm.
up to our room and stuff like that. Like let's come talk to us. Like it wasn't like, so it was definitely weird when I was going from like being hella social to it's not.
Yeah.
And it was just it was so such a weird transition. So yeah.
So um after like the pandemic and coming back to school, how did you feel after that in that whole transition?
Honestly, like I said earlier, I had high hopes, not gonna lie. I
Mm.
had really high hopes. Like I was planning to be outside, like like I was really just I was like, oh, we're gonna be mad people this time the third, and like I we came back to school, and like the first week was a solid week, honestly. Like it was a solid weekend,
Mm-hmm.
like that was like it was
I
a mess.
I
I'm a
know.
mess. I'm a mess. You know.
You
Like I
it
said,
was a
I
time.
keep you on your toes. Like, but like after that, like it really just was like it was subpar. Like it didn't really give me what it was supposed to give. Like senior year
Mm-hmm.
just did not lead up to my expectations. Like we had, see, I want to say like these places on our campus, but like I'm not going to because I feel like that's
Yeah.
gonna like shit too much information. But like we had like a specific area during the weekends where people would go out to, and people just stopped going there. Like it was just
Mm.
not active, and I was just like, what's going on? Like everybody goes there, and people started going off campus, and I'm just like, bro,
Yeah.
who is going off campus for like just to like, and then
Especially
people
in the
were going to
winter.
like other schools. Like it was just doing too much. And not that like I wouldn't have done it because I definitely did a couple of times, but it was just like it
Mm.
wasn't giving what it was supposed to give like it used to in the past. And what else? There was just a lot of stuff going on. Like I don't know, like it just personally just didn't give to me. um I really, like I said, I had high expectations and it just did not meet any of them, and I
Mm.
was quite disappointed. I kind of gave up, and especially with like academics and everything like that, and like having an internship both semesters, like that kind of really just took me out. And then being like a part of like clubs, it was too much, and to the point where I was kind of like I wasn't really interested in being outside no more. Like I was more
Mm.
so interested in being selfish and
Mm.
focusing on like bettering myself and like all that stuff. But how was your senior year for you? Like, and did you like have an expectation going into senior year?
I did have an expectation going into senior year. I had a lot of responsibilities academically wise, and I think I kind of overwhelmed myself or doubted myself, and that essentially was affecting um other aspects in like my college experience, um and how I viewed myself, how I like uh treated myself, um like in the dorms and like socially and everything. um so I would say like because of the pandemic I had time to think essentially. um but like coming back to school I feel like I had no time to just sit down and just think, and I think that's why I like joined the use like the therapy resources they had, just be able to like talk to someone and like kind of like reflect and organize those thoughts. And I'm really glad I did because that kind of like migrated to me to join therapy outside like after we graduated and everything. um so I did have high expectations I was going to do better for myself, but essentially I was able to like accomplish a lot, but just the way I accomplished them I would have done differently. So yeah, it, but it was overall good. It had high highs and low lows, but I survived. I made it. I'm here. You know, I was like, let's start our podcast, and you're like, let's do it. So this came out of it, and I love to see it.
Did you have like a good support system during like senior year? Because like I know like it just wasn't the best for I feel like a lot of people. So like
Mm-hmm. Yes, I would say I had a good, like, a solid people I could turn to if I needed to. Um, I know I could turn to you if I needed to, which was nice. I had like my families and my outside friends, outside of school. Uh, it's just kind of hard because like even now everyone's going through something, and
mm-hmm.
um, as much as I wish I like had the time to just sit down and be like, oh, I should catch up with this person, it just goes over my head because I'm thinking of a million other things that I have to do that like topples over it. And as much as I miss these people and like wish the best for them, and I know they're going through their own stuff too, I just like want to like reach out and be like, hey, I'm here. I miss you. Like, I hope you're doing well. I just forget, and um it's just life just like takes over, and I feel bad, but it's just how life goes, you know.
No, I
Hopefully in the
definitely agree.
future we like, you know, college, that I feel like that's why a lot of people like, oh, college road trip, college like vacation, let's go somewhere, you know.
Mm-hmm. Because it's like you'll never have the moment like the same time where anyways, I feel like I said, college is like the only time that you're gonna be in the same space as like some of the people that are closest to you, and I think that's the biggest thing about like transitioning and like life after college. Like I remember like once
Mm-hmm.
we graduated, I had like a graduation party, and it wasn't for me. It was for my like technically for my cousin who graduated high school. But my cousin graduated from my okay, so he graduated from one of the bigger universities in our state, and he asked me, he was like, oh, so how's like life after college and everything like that, like are you struggling, like you know, like just like not being away from like not being like close to your friends anymore. And I was kind of like, no, I'm chilling, like I'm not really
Mm-hmm.
like I don't have a problem or anything like that. I think like towards the I guess like the start of like what a typical semester would look like for us, like which is like the ending of August, like when we would move in and we would start like classes like the first week of September, whatever the case is, um, that's when it started to kick in. And I think also too, being in grad school, it's so different because I'm automatically thinking like I'm not automatically comparing my experience to undergrad, and obviously I know that they're not the same playing field, but it's like part of me wishes I was back at school. Like some part of me wishes like you know like I was like living like at school like by myself
Mm-hmm.
and had that freedom and like X, Y, and Z because I crave that freedom. Not that I don't have that at home, like I said earlier, but it's just so different to be by yourself. And I think I was honestly made to like I was born to be like by myself. Like I literally just I be in my house, like I look the way that my house is set up, like I my parents live downstairs and like I live on the second floor by myself and like nobody really comes up here, but
Mm-hmm.
even though like I technically have like this upstairs floor to myself, like I still crave that like independency and just like living by
Mm-hmm.
myself. Um, and yeah, I don't know. It just tough. My closest friends because it's like never would I ever have thought that I would be like so far, and it just really just I don't know. It sucks, and it's just like you go through those stages where you're just kind of like looking back at your memories, and it's just like, dang, I really miss so and so, but I literally cannot
Mm-hmm.
see them like because they're like
Yeah.
an hour, 2 hours away, and
Mm-hmm.
they have their life of their own, and it's like sucks because like I've been I've been meaning to go visit one of my friends who lives in a different state, and like she has a life of her own, she has a job, like school and everything like that, like and so do I, and it's just like our schedules don't really match, and it just kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But like but yeah, it really just sucks not being able to be around some of your closest friends because it's just like I miss just being around you. That's really just
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. I'm having like deja vu because in high school, like I had friends who are now states away, countries away, and there's no way. Oh yeah, let me just go to Germany real quick and
No, literally.
say hi to so and so. So it's just bringing back old memories of just not being able to see old friends who I miss, and um and then I just relive the memories that we do have, and it makes me even more sad. And then I think I should reach out to them. But again, we all are living our lives trying to, do our best to just, have a good day.
No, literally. I don't
Because
know why you just
sometimes
like
we
what you
lose
just
track.
said. I don't know why what you just said just made me like low key emotional because I'm like thinking about my freshman year and like even though like freshman year like I said like was like one of those things where I don't know if I would want to relive again, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when I like think about it, it's like those highs I would definitely want to relive again because it's just like I could remember like moving day like it was nothing. Like I literally remember like pulling up like the football players because that's what they did. The football players would
Helping
help the
out. Yep.
freshmen and like move in and like I'm not about to go into details of what happened, but like basically like but yeah, like I remember like that like my the friend group that I had, like they would like after like we moved in and everything like that, everybody was like in our room just like chilling and like it was just so nice and it was just like such a like a breath of fresh air because it's like
Mm-hmm.
my new beginning
Mm.
essentially.
Talk about
Um
it.
and it was just super super nice and like super bittersweet and it's just like when I think about like those good memories I'm just kind of like I miss that but then obviously when I think about the nitty-gritty details I'm like I don't really know if I miss
Yeah.
that all the way but like
Yeah.
no literally but it's just like I like it's really sad and I think that's like the thing about adulting because I don't
Mm.
really want to think that we're adults but like we're both 23 um and it's
Crazy.
kind of getting ghetto. It's kind of getting ghetto. But it just kind of like I don't know. It's something about it. Just like it's sad because we're all doing completely different things.
Mm.
Um, and like soon it's like if and it really just dependent on just you communicating with them and reaching out to them.
Mm.
Um, and that's really what it is. And it just sucks because it's everybody's in different spaces in life. Like
Yes.
it
Yes.
really really just sucks and like sometimes I'll think and like be like oh like I wish like certain things were like different and like I really want to like reach out to like so and so but it's like you really can't like or whatever the case
Mm.
is and it sucks it really
Yes.
does suck because like I feel like I met like a lot of good people um but it's just we're just in two different spaces now.
Yes. So to those people who I haven't seen or talked to, I miss you. I wish you the best. And I hope to see y'all soon.
No,
You deserve
literally.
amazing things. Y'all know who you are, and you know who you're not.
No, literally. Honestly, I need to stop lying because I'd be lying to people. I'd be saying that I'm about to pull up on them, and then I never do.
Mm.
But I actually am going to. Like, I really am. So if you know who you are, I'm gonna pull up on you. I really am.
I just
Um,
I I just can't wait to catch up. I can see them when I can. It'll be good. Um so yeah, how's life after? The cap and gown have been hung up in the closet.
I'm just adjusting to adult life still.
Mm.
Um, I feel like it's honestly just very boring too. I think that's
Mm.
another big thing. I think undergrad was kind of fun. Now it's kind of boring because it's like all I do is literally work and school, and then whatever on the weekends.
Mm.
What have you been doing?
Um so after like the cap and gown, I had a little detour, kind of took a break, but now I'm thinking of going back to school, trying to get out of my current job because I'm done with retail. It's looking not ugly, but it's not pretty over there. The people are great, and um they were able to like support and provide every throughout like this past 6-8 months, and I'm very thankful. But I'm just ready to do something new. Um, Essentially more towards like what I'm passionate about. So this year I'm expecting big things. Um, I want like a do over. I want to do what I plan to do in 2022 after graduation. But I guess the Jordan year, go big or go home. You know, so yeah.
And
Um,
so, how do you think the last couple of years? How do you think? Did you think that the last 4 years went by fast, slow? Like, how do you think the pace was for you with everything that was going on in your personal life and academic life and stuff like that?
Honestly, it didn't like speed by, but it was very fast. It was quite fast. I felt like high school took forever. Oh my gosh. I thought I'd
Yeah.
never get out of there. But college was very much very fast.
No, I definitely
What
agree.
about
I
you?
think, yeah, I think after, I think honestly, COVID really just messed everything up
Oh yeah.
because I would continuously refer to like like for example like senior year, like I would always be like last year and like think of like sophomore year. I'm like, that was just not last
Yeah.
year. Like it was like 2 years ago. What are you talking about, Julie? Like what is going on? Um, but yeah, I think COVID really messed things up. I honestly really just feel cheated, to be honest. And we've
mm.
had this conversation with another friend. I think that a lot. I think when we came back to school, our class was so divided,
Oh,
like
yes.
so divided. I honestly think it's honestly too because literally like when we got back to school, nobody knew who each class was. I think when we were
Mm.
freshmen and sophomores, it was a clear distinction of who was like a senior, who was a junior, who was like. And when we came back to school, I was like, "Who are y'all? Like seriously, who are you guys?" Like I was
I'd be
like,
like, "Oh, you're a freshman?" Like, "No,
"Bro,
I'm a junior." I was like, "Huh?"
Bro, when I tell you, like, I was just mad confused. Like, I knew some people that were sophomores, and I literally just automatically thought they were freshmen because, like, honestly, I just mixed
Yeah.
both the classes together because I didn't care. Honestly, I was a senior. I wasn't checking for y'all, but, like, truthfully, I was so
Mm.
confused. Like, I was literally walking around school, like, as if I was a freshman because I'm like, really, like, what is going on? Like, but, it was definitely like it definitely went by too fast. I think that
Mm-hmm.
I just want another year, to be honest.
Yeah.
I really want a redemption year. And it sucks because I don't know what sucks. I don't know if it sucks for the seniors now or um or if it sucked more for us because when the seniors
Mm.
came into school, they only had one semester and then they came back as juniors.
Yeah.
And then they
It was.
had I mean
It's
they
the
have it technically.
seniors. It's the people who are seniors now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wish I definitely had like another year.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just went by very fast. I think that I not that I have like more growing to do. But I definitely think that like I just want another year to like learn more about myself. Um, because I think that every single year I definitely learned a little bit more about myself. I think freshman year I honestly can say that like I went in as like a little naive and I just wasn't
Mm-hmm.
by the time I like um by the time of at the end of our freshman year and then like sophomore year just like had like more confidence in myself and I was just like more focusing on myself and then like senior year I don't really know but I don't know I think I learned something every single year by myself and I just wish I had another year. We just didn't have that junior year and I think junior year could have been something really nice but COVID messed it up
Mm.
so that was fun yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Would you want another year?
Um. Yeah. I. Well. I honestly I don't know. because I'm a firm believer of like, oh, things happen for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't really know what would happen if if I gained another year back. Um, am I happy that like COVID took a year away from me? No, I'm not happy about that. Do I want the money back? Yes, I would love. I would. I would love that money back. Um, but honestly, I don't really know. Um, I go my heart goes out to like people who lost, so much um during the pandemic and everything, and I'm grateful like we were able to still have school. And I'm grateful that during the pandemic I didn't lose my mind. Let let's say that. I had good days and bad, but I didn't like, you know, really lose my mind or have really bad effects after it. It was just so different, I would say.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. Like I said earlier, like we went from being around so many people to just not.
Mm,
Like there was no proper transition. Like I guess like spring break was a transition, but it wasn't actually a transition. Like
yeah.
I fully remember we went on
They were like,
spring
"Come get
break.
your stuff."
They were, yeah, no, they were extending it, and then they extended it more. And I was
Mhm.
like, oh, like I remember like going downstairs, and I was like, oh, mom, I'm like literally staying another week. You're stuck with me, and like a kiki keying with her,
Yeah.
right? And then they were like, oh yeah, now you have to come get your stuff. And I was kind of like feeling a type of way because I was like, okay, like this is now serious, and
Mhm.
we're going home. But I was like, I think I was more upset because I didn't get to say bye to my friends.
Yeah,
I didn't like I literally just went in. We had
because
to
they
like
organized it.
we were all wearing masks. Like yeah, they organized it by like last name I think, and like specific
Mhm.
times that we had to come get our
They put
stuff.
like last name first and then last name in the middle, and it was like, okay.
Yeah, it was like very weird. And I remember like everybody was just like very like distancing each other from everyone, and it was
Mhm.
just very weird. And I was like, I was feeling that type of way because I was just like, I was not prepared for this. What's
Mhm.
going on? And it was really sad, honestly, because it was just like I'm seeing people, but I'm not seeing people. Like I can't even
Yeah.
go up to them and like hug them or anything like that, or say like literally give a proper goodbye. Because like I think in the email they were like, yeah, just go to your rooms, pack your
No, get
stuff, and
your
then just
stuff.
leave. You cannot like be like out here like chatting it up with whatever the
Mhm.
case is. It was just very clear, strict instructions, and I was just kind of like, okay, like cool. Like I don't know, it was very strange to me. I mean, I guess I was in a way like glad to come back home to like friends and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
I wasn't because for like sophomore year I was fine.
Yeah.
I was having a blast, okay?
That
And
was
then y'all cut it up
I didn't
short.
like Zoe.
So how was
Mhm.
your move out experience?
My move out, it was pretty quick. Honestly, it was like a dream. I was like, because I remember Boston schools made an announcement first, and I was like, oh, we're fine. But then my friend's school was like, yeah, we're shut down. I was like, oh gosh, this is probably getting a little a little too real right now. And then we got the email, and then I just remember rushing to like my stuff. I was so mad because I had a single. I was so mad. um but yeah, it felt like a dream. Like I was like, this is not happening. Like this can't be real.
Mm-hmm. Wait, I have a
Mm-mm.
random question. So I know we were roommates for a little like a short amount of time, but we talked about this earlier. But would you, if you were able to choose your roommates again, would you room with me again?
Yes, yes, I would. I definitely would. Would you?
Yeah. I think I honestly liked our like movie nights and everything like that. And like
Mm-hmm.
Disney nights. We did that like every Sunday, right? or like almost
Yeah,
every Sunday.
almost every Sunday.
Yeah, we would like watch like all like the Marvel shows or like a movie or whatever the case is. That was really nice. But I would honestly go home a lot. So like, and you started going home a lot towards like I
Mhm.
think spring semester, so that really didn't happen. But like, we
Yeah.
still tried to make it work.
Mhm. Yeah, I wouldn't I would I liked rooming with the people that we roomed with to an extent. Some yeah, I'll just leave it at that. We had a
Hmm.
good bunch. We had good times.
Yeah, yeah. There were some highs and lows. I can say
Yeah.
that. So like, I know we talked about like how we became friends, but like, how did you become friends with some of your other friends? Because we had complete different friend groups.
Mhm.
Like I said, like we had completely different college experiences. I'm so sorry,
Mhm.
y'all. I'm moving around because I'm literally like crisscross applesauce on my bed. Like, but how did you become friends with some of the friends that you made? Um, were there any like red flags in your friendships?
Mm.
Like, how'd you go about that? Because we're gonna meet all types. We met all different types of people. So
Yeah. Um well, my old roommate I met through orientation and I was like, "Oh, do you want to room together?" She's like, "Sure." I was like, "Okay." So that happened and then um she met other people and that's how like I kind of migrated to that friends becoming friends with those people. And then my other friends, um, it was because of class, I would say. Definitely because of class and just bonding over that. Um, yeah, that that had to do essentially like I would meet people who knew people, and then that's essentially how it started.
no, I
Um,
felt
and red flags, I would say if I couldn't vibe with you or like something like not make my skin crawl, but like I was like, oh, that I don't I'm not feeling that really. And this if I like I said, I like to people watch and I would say I'm very good at reading people. But I don't judge people at all either. Like whatever floats your boat, floats your boat. I'm gonna do my best to be open minded, try to understand. And then I would put that in account on how I would act towards that person. So essentially someone was like, "Oh, can you do this for me?" and be a part of this like essentially this club and be blah 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 blah. But because I knew how this person worked, I was like, "No, cuz I would kill you." Not actually kill you, but
not the thread.
we would start a fight. um so yeah, that's essentially how I kind of dealt with my friends and everything. What about
Yeah,
you?
I think I don't know if I ever shared this story with you, but okay, I'm gonna answer the first part. So how I made my friends, I think a lot of my friends I made my freshman year. So like it was during orientation, because we had two orientations, like one during the
Mhm.
summer and then
The
one
summer.
like when we moved onto campus. And I made a good chunk of friends during that orientation. And like those are people that I went into freshman year with. Some of them I'm cool with, and then some of them I just don't talk to. But that's it. It is what it is. But and
Mhm.
then the other people that I became friends with, I think it was like just through classes, and then also just just clubs. I think senior year
Mm.
I made more friends through clubs, which is crazy because some of the people I just honestly wouldn't have thought would become friends with. Truthfully, like
Mm.
I don't even know who I was senior year. I was just out like just meeting mad people. But yeah, those people became really cool and great people. Still talk to them to this day. But um but I think mainly I think my friend people that I became friends with was really just people I lived that were in the same building as me. So like a lot of
Mm.
people from like the first floor, some people from the third floor I was cool with. So yeah, and then red flags, honestly, like you said, I'm like a very observant person. So yeah, I think there was like only one friendship that was like a red flag to me, and
Mm.
like I'm the type of person where I don't like when people get comfortable too easily with me. Like I think
Mm.
that just irks. That really irks. I think that's probably like there's levels to this, but once you start like I guess becoming too comfortable with me too quickly, I can't. Like I feel like I'm now suffocating. I'm
Ooh.
irritated. I'm irked. I'm irked, Michaela.
Mm.
Irked. And but this is in multiple different contexts, like friendships, relationships, all that
Mm.
stuff. But this was what I was telling you yesterday. I think there's levels to knowing me as a person.
Mm.
I think that a lot of people think that they know me and that they were like very close, but I don't feel the same way. Like
Mm.
I don't
You're
know
like,
what
don't
to
get it
say.
twisted.
Yeah, I think that like there are just a lot of levels to just really getting to know me. Like we may be close, but maybe not as close as you think.
Mm.
Unless we are. No.
So on that note, any like last minute advice you would give to someone entering this college process or who is in college and is like not struggling but just going through it, like any advice you would give them?
I guess I'll say like the same advice I gave to like my cousin who's now in
Mm-hmm.
college. She's in her freshman year. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm like literally, I'm never sitting on my bed again for another podcast episode because I'm like cramping. But I think okay, I this is my first advice: stay away from the athletes. I feel like
Ooh.
everybody says that, but like I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. They're cool people to be friends with, but like nothing
Mm.
else. And then honestly, I think just go in with no expectations, but also really know who you're gonna be living with because like those are people that you're gonna be around with. You're gonna be sharing a space with them, and if you really don't know who the people are, don't room with them. Do not go random. Maybe I mean I don't know. I've heard some good experiences going random. My cousin went random, and like she's doing well with her roommate, and like they're cool. I just personally wouldn't go random, but um, yeah. And then like it just I don't know. I feel like a lot of college students feel like they have to have everything figured out. Um,
You
guess what?
don't.
I'm 23 and I still don't have everything figured out. You don't have to feel like you have everything figured out. You're going to college at 17, 18 years old or turning even 19. I turned 19 like my freshman year. But this is like you're supposed to like you're at that time you're making some of like the biggest life decisions that you're going to be making like to set yourself up for the rest of your life. But even after you graduate, you don't have to continue. You don't have to like use your degree. Like there's plenty of
Mm-hmm.
people that literally go from like a social science major to like a career in tech, like something
Yeah.
completely opposite, like like so don't feel like you have to have your life figured out like then because it's literally a learning experience. You're learning about yourself, what you like, what you don't like. um so I think that's pretty much like my advice, what I would
Mm.
give. And just enjoy the ride. There's gonna be lots of highs, but there's also gonna be lots of lows. But honestly, the people that you surround yourself with are also going to make or break your experience in college. Um, so I think that's really my biggest thing. Some of those people are really just going to become your family without even
Mm.
having to realize that. So yeah,
Yeah.
what's your advice?
My advice would be take a chance. Like, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. There will be at least one person who will connect and be there for you. Um, just don't be afraid to just like go out there and socialize and like make friends. Everything's gonna be okay. Also, make smart mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
um I would say make some smart mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, but make sure they're like, you know, that aren't gonna have horrible consequences. And also find a good support system, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's a friend or a professor or even like someone you connect with at the coffee shop or something. I don't know. Just find at least one person um who you can, you know, connect with and really um be open with, that can help you no matter what. Uh and I would say, like Julie said, it's okay to change your mind. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Um, and just do your best, essentially. College is not for everyone, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And try to make the best out of it. Um, there's high highs and low lows, but you'll make it if it is in college or if it's not. And you can always go back. It's not gonna blow away. So yeah.
And I feel
Um,
like also to add on to that, I think to stay true to yourself, I
mhm,
think you're gonna meet a lot of people that may like influence you to do certain things or whatever the case is, or like just like I feel like I've seen some people freshman year just like literally go off the rails because they had
mhm,
too much independence, and they never had that growing up. But really, just stay true to yourself. Honestly, you don't have to like be going out all the time or doing X, Y, and Z because you have the fear of missing out. Really, just stay true to yourself. It's literally a journey. Like yes, college goes by fast, but really just find your people. You'll find your people. It's just a
mhm,
matter of time and putting yourself out there. Um, like literally, I know me and Michaela, we are not the most outspoken people. Like we're not out there and stuff like that, but we definitely got involved in our school, and it's so crazy because freshman year, I would have never if freshman year looks at my senior year self, I would have never thought that I would have been an executive like club member for two like clubs on campus, being on like a student a conduct appeal board. None of that. Like I would have never thought that I was in those like positions because
mhm,
I'm just very to myself. Like I'm not a person that's gonna get in front of an audience and be like,
yeah.
"Hey, let's talk about this. Like, thank you guys for coming out." Da da da, or whatever the case is. I'm just not that person.
Yeah.
Like,
I would have been like,
um,
Michaela, who? She's doing what? Me?
literally,
Okay.
literally.
Sure.
Like, I think the only
Sure.
closest thing I think I was thinking about was probably like my sophomore year, probably thinking about becoming an RA. But I did not follow
Mm,
through with that. I did not do that.
mhm,
I could have done it, but I didn't. But like, that was never gonna happen. Like, those things just never crossed my mind. And then COVID happened, and like all those things changed. But I definitely think just put yourself out there. Um, College is about growing, figure out who you are, like I said, and just stay true to yourself. You're gonna find your people. There's all different types of people. All you're gonna walk. You're gonna come across people of all different types of lives. Um, is that the right term? You're gonna walk across people. Y'all know what I'm saying.
yeah,
Y'all know
yeah,
what I'm saying
yeah,
at the end of the day.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but but yeah, it's really more so a experience for yourself.
Mhm,
And yeah, academics is a part of it, but don't forget that this is a learning. This is a vital, like, I think this is a vital step for development.
yeah.
That I think, personally, I think that's what it is. Maybe not a lot of people will agree with me, but I definitely think that is the case. And I guess I'll backtrack a little bit before we close. Um, I just feel like going to college, I think that because I had so much freedom or whatever the case is, like, maybe not even, it's not even freedom. Like, I think I was just doing so many different things. Like, getting to know a bunch of different people. I think also by the time I reached a certain age, I kind of was just so like over certain things. Like I just it didn't like excite me as it did when I was like maybe like a freshman or sophomore. Like it didn't really like being outside, to be honest, really didn't I didn't care about that like senior year. Like I could have like I definitely did, but like it wasn't like, oh, like I'm trying to get lit or whatever. Freshman year, I was trying to get lit, okay? I was a person like I was a person I like let me not say what the area is, but like I'd be like, oh my gosh, like you're so pretty, like what's your snap? Da da da. Like I was that person. But by the time I got into like my like by the time like I like got to that age, a certain age, I was just kind of like, okay, look, whatever. I don't really care anymore. But yeah, and I think it's different. I think this is also a difference between people who live at school, like dorm, and people who commute, because it's like not that like y'all are behind, but like in a way, unless like y'all live with like I guess people who just you have all the freedom in the world, but like you know I feel like for the vast majority it's like different, because when you reach I guess a certain age it's like, oh my gosh, I want to go outside, I want to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm just like, I don't care for that no more.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the advice that we have for y'all. Take it or leave it, but we hope that you know, are inspired or can resonate or, reflect on it, apply it to your college life. Um, we want to thank you for listening to our first episode of Let's Talk About It with M and
Y'all,
J.
it was so long. I hope that you guys stay to the end, because it was not supposed to be this long. Oh my gosh.
No, we just had so much to
Oh,
talk
it's 2 hours. Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
almost
Oh
2
my
hours.
gosh. No. We're going to cut this down for you, hopefully, because
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Nobody's about to stay here for 2 hours. I wouldn't. What?
Honestly, I would, because I like, on certain days I like long podcasts, but yes, we hope that you enjoyed it. Just quick shout out. If you're looking for any book recommendations, this lovely book, Your Pain Has Purpose by Walter J.E. Weeks Sr. This book is about like dealing with pain, because pain demands to be felt, unfortunately. Quote by John Green. With this book, you'll be able to handle the difficult times and produce a greater, like, good life while dealing with the pain. It's on Amazon, so if you're looking for like self improvement, I check it out. Um, Also, some Black owned businesses to check out: Craft Envy. Her Instagram is craft.envy. For those of you who are longing for, those nifty little crafts, handmade, to be personalized the way you want, for merchandise to hardwood appliances, check out Craft Envy. She does really amazing work. I bought like 3 crock, what do you call it, the
Gibbets?
things that, yeah, thank you, gibbets. My mom bought some like ornaments and just hang for Christmas, her Black Santa obsession this year. um Julie, have any like song recommendations to like, because you're really big on that on social media.
Oh, you know. The other day I posted Every Little Step. Is that Every Little Step by Bobby Brown? Hold on, let me pull up my playlist, my Spotify account, because um, earlier I was listening to Keep Your Head Up by Tupac. You know what? What's a good song? A good throwback. Um, yo, it's by Michael Jackson. There's two. I've been in like a '90s mood. First of all, Poison by Belle DeVoe. That will always get me. Okay, that will
Why
always
was I
get me.
singing
Hold
Michael
on.
Jackson last night? Remember the time? Tell me why I was singing that.
That was one of the songs, but hold on. And pretty PYT.
Pretty young.
I don't know why.
PYT, Pretty Young Thing.
Yeah.
Good song.
Dang it, I'm probably not gonna find the song. Honestly, I can't remember the song now. But let me give y'all another different song. Because um, I should I keep it 90s or just come back to 2022?
Mm.
I just kept it 90s or not even 90s.
Ooh, excuse me. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, girl. It's literally 2 hours of this podcast. I've been listening to New Edition.
Oh my
So
gosh, New Edition.
obviously the stereotypical, like, everybody knows a song. You can you stand the rain, and then Candy Rain. I don't know why. I really want to sing the song, but I'm not gonna do it. Maybe one podcast, because if you know me, I like to sing. Okay,
She be singing.
Even though I can't sing, I be singing. And
I'll tell you one thing: if you know Julie and she's comfortable with you, and you hear a little 1 2 1 2 3, you know she with you.
No, literally, I think that's the biggest sign that I'm comfortable and we're locked in. I'm gonna start singing to you.
That's why she's gonna be giving you these song recommendations, because she knows.
And then listen to the new SZA album. To be honest, everybody knows it.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Kiana Lede, Honest. That song has been playing like no tomorrow. We love a good Kiki over here. So yeah, those are my song recommendations for this week. We're gonna give some more recommendations next time. I got a whole list for y'all. I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna give like 5 new recommendations each podcast. I think I gave 4.
Period.
So let me give another one.
One more.
This is by Illmatic. People don't know.
We had Tupac, Michael. We had New Edition, Kiana. Yeah, one more.
This is about like a smaller artist, and I just told somebody about this person. Illmatic. He writes for Rod Wave. So if anybody y'all like Rod Wave, I'm gonna put y'all on to More Liquor, More Problems. That's a good song. It's very like sad though, and so if you're in your feelings, don't listen to that song. And then also You Need Love by him. Great song. So those are your 5 artists or 5 songs for this podcast. Next time I got y'all with another one.
Period.
So stay tuned.
All right, guys. Well, we hope you have a great morning, afternoon, night, whenever time you watch this. And we will be back to talk about some more stuff. So stay tuned, and much blessings, and we'll see y'all soon.
Let's talk about it.
Bye.
Bye.